So I get asked this question all the time. Veronica, how do I be submissive? How do I be more submissive in the BDSM world? So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 of my favorite tips on how to be submissive in the BDSM world. And I'm going to just be honest with you and give you my answers for how I would answer the questions I'm going to ask you. Stay tuned. Hey there, I'm Veronica Yanhs, and if this is the first time we're meeting, welcome to my channel. And on this channel, I help people like you explore kink and BDSM in a really fun, easy, and accessible way. So let's get started on those tips. So tip number 1 on how to be submissive is to first educate and to understand and know yourself. And what do I mean by this? It's understanding what submission does for you, like what part of being submissive in your mind resonates for you. So BDSM is not some sort of a textbook thing where you're like, oh, if I read this text or if I see somebody do something that really speaks to me, that must be how they're submissive. But that's not necessarily the case because we're all so unique and different. So when you think about submitting, to somebody, what does it make you feel? What about it resonates with you? And when you get really, really excited and like giddy, like for me, my personal answer to this is like when I think about kneeling in front of somebody, especially my partner, I feel super satisfied. I feel super fulfilled. And I want to capture more of that. So whatever it is that you feel when you think about doing submissive acts, and I'm not saying that you have to be subservient, but what does it make you feel? What does it make you feel to kneel in front of somebody or to perform an act of service that makes you feel really, really submissive and good? We want to capture those feelings because we want more of those positive ones. For some people, submission is really, really natural. Like I knew deep down when I was a really young kid that I had a submissive heart. And I just didn't know how to outlet that in healthy ways that were positive. And so it turned out that my family called me a martyr a lot, and it was not a good feeling. If you know that submission is for you, but it's just not natural, it could be that there are other external factors that are influencing this. And so even though it's not natural, it doesn't mean it's any less valid. So you just have your own journey to work through. Okay, so tip number 2, define what submission means for you. There's no one true way to be submissive. If anybody tells you any different, run away. You might like how your friend is submissive, or you might like how a character in a book or a TV is submissive, but it doesn't mean you have to follow their steps perfectly. You get to make your own recipe and you get to add your own spin to this. So it's like, if you don't like pepperoni, you can substitute it with sausage or vegetables. Just remember, write down things that make you feel submissive and to feel that joy. Like, what were you doing? What were you thinking? What were you experiencing? Those are data points that you can add so that you can find more of it. And at the end of the day, you get to choose and determine what makes your loins happy, what makes your heart happy, and what makes your mind happy when it comes to being submissive. There's no one true way. And number 3, you need to set boundaries and limits. There are so many facets to being a submissive. The biggest thing that I can tell for you right here is things that make you feel icky, things that shoot up red flags and stop signs all over you. If you feel like you're doing something and it just feels gross because it's triggering a memory or it goes against your core values and beliefs, something that I feel you were inherently born with, then don't do that. It's going to make your experience extremely terrible. And if you're forced to do things that go against what you believe in a DS type relationship, you know that relationship is not going to be sustainable because you're not going to be happy. And at the end, you're going to grow really angry. You're going to get hurt. You're going to experience resentment. And all of these things leave a really bad taste in your mouth. And I would not want that if I was exploring something that I thought would make me happy, you know? And once you figured out how to be more submissive using the 3 tips above, you can now communicate these desires in a really concrete way to your partner so that you can start, if you haven't already, on a DS journey that fulfills everybody involved. So check out that video. If you want more content like this, or if you're looking to dive into your DS exploration even further, sign up for Kink Insiders. This is my free membership for teaching people how to explore kink and BDSM in a way that feels really fulfilling. There's going to be worksheets and other resources in there waiting for you already. If you want to continue this conversation further, come play with me in my Facebook group, the BDSM of Business, where my tribe and I talk about all things business, life, and sexuality. If this video was helpful for you in any way, give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below telling me what you took away from this video. It really means a lot for me when I read your comments. It means so much to me when you share your experiences and when you feel comfortable enough to share your journey and even your insecurities, because it only helps us as submissives just grow into a more tight-knit community. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see you in the next video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button below for more videos like this. Bye!